Morning, everyone. I think we will just give it another couple of seconds and just wait for a few more people to come into the chat. Okay, I think we can start. Good morning, everybody. Welcome to EnterAfrica's first Amazon service provider live webinar. Today, we are going to show you how to successfully edit, remove, or add a user to your Amazon seller portal without compromising the security or integrity of your account. With me, I have Matt and Ricky. They will be monitoring everything in the background. If you have any questions during the webinar, Matt will try and answer them. Otherwise, we can address these at the end when we open the floor for Q&A. So today we are talking about giving someone else permission to use your Amazon portal, but there are obviously set permissions that you can set for certain people in order not for them to see sensitive information. Ricky, can you go to the next slide for me, please? Okay, so are you this person in the top right, pulling out your hair? Are you at the point where your Amazon business is difficult to maintain and you now have to add other people to help you get everything done on the portal? If you do, Amazon has got a facility in your seller account where you can provide access to your employees, co-owners, as well as Amazon service providers. And that is what we are as EnterAfrica. We are one of Amazon service providers. And if we have to do anything on someone's portal, they will then give us access as an authorized user. Obviously, there's some tips and some cautions that we always try and tell people. Don't share your password with other people. That is exactly why we've got the permission structure in place. You can obviously then provide the permission to the people that you want to have access. When granting permissions to your users, always give them the minimum. Have them look at what permissions they have, and if there's anything else in their line of function that they need to do for you and they need additional permission, you can then grant them that. You must also obviously regularly update your permissions. If there's someone that's no longer working for you, remember to delete them. New people come in, obviously you're going to add them. And number 4 is to do with the global account, but I know that hasn't been finalized in South Africa yet, and that is why they're just cautioning about the global account. Ricky? So there are 3 types of permissions in your seller portal. There's the primary user, who is yourself, the person that registered the Seller Central account. Then you have a secondary account user. The secondary user is invited by the primary user under the user permissions. Primary user can grant certain permissions to a secondary user. By setting user permissions, other users can complete tasks such as manage inventory or handling shipping confirmations. And then there's an authorized partner who will, in our case, be EnterAfrica. An authorized partner is an individual or company to whom you grant access to your account. Authorized partners will only have access to data that you grant them. and it's mostly the admin functions that the permission will be given to the authorized partner. Thanks, Ricky. I know this looks overwhelming and very confusing. It's actually not as complicated as it looks. So I'm going to show you 2 ways to invite users. The first one is going to be your secondary user. And then after this, I'll show you how to invite an authorized partner to have access to your portal. So like I said, it does look very confusing and overwhelming. So you would just log into your portal, you would click on your settings cog in the top right-hand corner, click on user permissions, and then click on the word add user. This little block will come up at the bottom that says invite new user. Obviously, you would need the person's details. So it's asking for the name and the email address. Then you're going to click on send invitation. After that, after that, you will get an email saying that your invitation has been sent. Comes up with a link that you can now email to the user. That user is going to get an email to say that the company, whatever your company's name is, we manage our Amazon business, and we would like to invite you as a Seller Central user. And it says that the process is simple and they must just follow the steps below. Now, if they don't already have access to an Amazon account, they are going to have to apply or register with an Amazon account. And the reason for that is purely because you can't give them your login details. They have to log in with their own details so that you are the only person that can add the permissions and delete the permissions. Remember, if you give someone access to your portal without the permissions, they can actually take over the primary functions and they can go and lock you out of your account. So please be very careful. They will then get told that they will need to they would need to have an account. Once they log into that account, they will go and then the system will automatically revert back to the primary user. And once I approve it or the user approves it, we'll go to the next section. Okay, so sorry, let's just go one step back because I know it's very confusing. So you've got the invite. So you're going to invite the person that you want permission or to give permission on your account. You're going to get an email saying your invitation has been sent. The person you've invited will be prompted to sign into their Amazon customer account or create a new one with the email address that you've provided. Users are not automatically granted access. So once this process is done, you don't have to worry that that person will have immediate access to your account. The user or the main account holder will still need to go in and set the permission levels that you want to allow that person to have. Okay, so now the next one is what the email is going to look like that the user receives. So I'm going to read it as if I am the primary user. We use Seller Central to manage our Amazon account, and I would like to invite you to have access to my seller account. To start using Seller Central, complete the following steps. So it wants them to click on the link, and it will then prompt them to say, you'll have to log in now. If you have an existing Amazon account for work, use that. Otherwise, create a new user account with your email and password, but it must be the email that you invited them on. Then I said here, once I approve you, you can start using the Seller Central, and it gives the link that you can go and log in to Seller Central. But it also tells you that me as the primary account holder, still needs to give you permission to certain functions. Okay, so then the user, once they have logged into the portal, whether it be with an existing account or a new one, they will go and accept the invitation. Then you accepted this invitation with an email address other than that was invited. So sometimes what happens is the email address that you've used for the person when you did the invitation, that email address might not be the email address that the user is currently using for Amazon. However, they can still accept the invitation, although it's not on the same email address. Ricky, can you just go over for me, please? Okay, so now I get an email as the primary user to say that's my name, Chantal Stradham has accepted your invitation to become an authorized user for your Amazon business. Because the email or phone number associated with Chantal Stradham's account is different than the one you specified in the invitation, you must review it and approve it. So it's basically just an extra step, but it has allowed for the user, because it could be a user that maybe used to work for a different company and already had an Amazon account, or so it does allow for that. But then there would be an extra step where you then have to go and confirm the invitation. And how to do that is you're going to click on either one of the two options. And the two options, I know this is also going to sound very confusing. There will be two ways in which you can confirm the invitation. And the reason for that is option one is if you confirm the invitation with the email address that you invited the user on. The second option will be where you click on the word edit. And that would then be when you are going to confirm with a different email address. So option one is easy. You're going to click on the actions button and you're going to click confirm invitation. That then concludes that part of the process. The next option is the edit function, where you now have to go and verify the user's ID. And this is just an extra step that it takes to ensure that you are verifying the right person to the right email address. You would then click on edit, on the word edit. You would then click on the words that say finish verification. Once you click on finish verification, it is going to ask you to enter the user's ID number, and that will then link it back to the email address. A list of all the individual permissions will appear. Now, there are stacks of individual permissions that you can grant a user. For this purpose, I have just made a note to say, if you click on admin, the person that you're granting permission to will be able to do all the admin functions within your portal, except having access to your personal information, your banking details, and such. So admin would be doing the brand registry, sending compliance documents, listing products, editing products, doing stock replenishments, FBA, FBM. The admin person can also do sponsored ads, but they won't be allowed to actually work with the finances of the portal. Once all the permissions have been granted, you just scroll down to the bottom and you save the changes. You can take time and go through each and every permission for your own benefit, because there might be functions in the admin that you wouldn't like the person to have, but it's entirely the primary user's decision on how much permission to give a person. And then the changes have been saved. Is there any questions or anything unclear before I move on to the authorized seller permission? Let's see. Okay. All right, let's continue.
Chantal, we do have one raised hand.
Oh,
so
sorry, I can't see it.
Whoever raised a hand, would you like to go ahead and ask your question?
Okay.
Hey everyone, just a note, if you are a participant, you won't be able to use your microphone. So please do make use of the chat if you have any questions, and then there is a moderator that will...
Okay, so we'll go to the chat section. All right, perfect. I see that Matt is answering some of the questions. So if there's anything that Matt doesn't get to answer or is not possible to answer, we can do that at the end with the Q&A. So just to recap, and I'm going to run through this again, because when I did this for the first time, it was very confusing. Ricky, if you can just go one slide back. Okay, so in a nutshell, it's quite a bit of forwarding and receiving back from the user. And believe me when I say that Amazon has just got your account. They're actually looking after your benefits by not making it that easy to give permissions to a third party user, authorized user, or whatever. So it is a bit of a process, but once you've done it once, it actually becomes much easier. So just again, to do a normal user who's going to either be an employee, co-worker, colleague, whatever person in your company that you want to give permission to, you are going to click on your settings. You're going to go to user permissions. You're going to invite the person that you want to give the permission to. You will get an email to say that the invitation has been sent. You can now either copy that link, or the user will get an email from Amazon to say that they have been invited to become a user on your account. Then, like I said, there could be two ways. Either the person logs in with an existing Amazon account, or they would then need to create their own account, and from there, the permissions will take place. So the user then accepts the invitation. The primary user will then get an email to say that the invitation has been accepted. Ricky? Thank you. Then there are two ways of confirming your invitation from there and granting the permission. The first one is the easy one, where the email address that you've used for your invitation is the same email address that the user has already got on Amazon. All you do then is you click on Actions, Confirm Invitation, and that process is done. The second one is a little bit more complicated. You are going to click on Edit. The Actions button won't be there. The Edit button will be there. You're going to click on that. You are then going to, it says there, a required action is to complete the identity verification. And that is simply just putting in the person's ID number. So you're going to click on Finish Verification, put in the user's ID, and the list of permissions is going to pop up. As I said before, it is quite a long list. You can now individually go and search for particular permissions that you want to grant the person. But we have found that if you click the admin button at the top, it gives you all the admin functions on the portal that is necessary for someone to be able to list your products, do the stock replenishments, do brand registry if necessary, send compliance documents if necessary. The only information they won't have access to is your bank accounts, and they will also not be allowed to change anything on your profile. If you want to do them separately, you do that, and then at the bottom, you click on Save Changes. So that was how to add a user. Now, luckily, Ricky, if you are inviting an authorized partner who is part of the Amazon service provider network, you can see that the process is so much easier. And the reason for that is, as a service provider, we have already got our own email addresses linked to our own accounts. So there's not a lot that needs to be done. So if anybody wants to take part in any of the promotions that Amazon are running at the moment, like the free listings or whatever campaigns Amazon is running, if you do it via the service provider network and you have chosen a service provider that is on that list, you can know for sure that it is verified and you are not going to have a problem with permissions. So you would also go to your settings with your cog and you would click on user permissions. So instead of inviting a user, you are now going to add an authorized partner. From there, you will get an invitation link. That link you can copy and you can send that through to your service provider. The service provider will simply go and log into their email address that is linked to their Amazon account. Once that is done, the service provider will let you know that they have accepted the invitation. You can then go back to your user permissions. You can click on Open Invitations, Accept Invitation, and grant access to admin. We do suggest that you do grant the access to admin for your service providers, because that function, or all the permissions within that function, does have, it's got all the necessary that the service providers would need. They would also obviously not have access to any of your personal information, cannot change anything on your portal. It's purely just an admin function. So it's a little bit more difficult to add a user, and the reason for that is because it's not verified by Amazon upfront, and that is why you have to do the verification. This is a much easier and a much simpler process. So what we suggest is learn to do this if you want to make use of any of the campaigns that Amazon are running. Okay, Ricky. So now, who has access to user permission function on Amazon? So for you to be able to manage any of the permissions on Amazon South Africa, you need to have a professional selling plan. The professional selling plan will allow you to grant controlled access to your account to other users without sharing login credentials, which is available to individual selling plan users. What is a professional selling plan? Professional selling plan on Amazon provides access to tools and features for businesses selling in larger volumes, while the individual plan is better suited for those selling less than 40 items per month. The professional plan offers benefits like bulk listing uploads, automated pricing, and advanced reporting features. And this is where the service providers would then kick into place, where you can then hand over to one of the service providers to do your bulk uploads for your listings. They can do your brand registry. They can even provide training if needed, and they can run you through the whole process. So everything that I've shown you before is only available on the professional selling plan. So what are the benefits of having a professional selling plan? It does have a monthly subscription fee. I know the subscription fee is still capped currently. I can't confirm how long that is still going to be capped, but I'm sure with time they are going to introduce standard subscription fees. But for now, it is capped. You've also got the inventory tools, which includes the bulk uploads of listings and reports, which is brilliant for, obviously, for bigger companies that have many listings. But yes, Amazon is also busy with the free listing campaign, and I know that is really going well, and it is really helping sellers with the tedious task of uploading listings. It obviously also gives you access to pricing automation. So it's the ability to automate pricing adjustments based on various factors. And that is obviously something that you would use if either if you buy boxing or if you have very fast moving products and you don't have time to sit and look at your pricing every day. That is a brilliant tool to use, and it's something that you would get under your professional plan. The reporting, obviously, there are many reports on Amazon, and it can analyze anything from sales, performance. You can see how your sponsored ads is running. They really do have brilliant reports. We use a lot of them, and they're very detailed, and they really do offer a lot. And then the last one is you can fulfill with the 2 options, which is fulfilled by Amazon, where you will send your stock to the fulfillment centers, where they will keep it in stock. And as the customer buys, Amazon would then deliver it to your customer. There obviously is a fulfillment fee that is paid, but that is dependent on your category as well as the weight and dimensions of your product. Then fulfilled by merchant is you are the merchant, where you keep the stock with you, and as the orders come in, you will process the order on the portal and advise your courier that you have the product to be delivered. So in a nutshell, professional selling plan does have a lot of benefits. And also, when it comes to your permissions, it is obviously the best way to go. Because if you're on an individual plan, you won't be able to have those permission structures. And it could get quite messy, if people have the wrong access to your account. Okay, I think, Ricky, I think that is it for now. We are going to open up for Q&A. Matt will attend with me and answer questions that you might have, and I'm sure you do, because granting permissions, I know, is quite a scary process, but we are here to help. And I also just want to tell you that there is going to be a survey at the end for Amazon. They have asked if you want to provide a feedback on our webinar today. You're more than welcome to stay after and do that for us. Ricky, where's Matt? Let me go out here. Let's go to the chat. Sure.
I am here. Sorry, I've been trying to answer some questions in the chat.
Oh, shame. All right. Do you want to run through them, Matt?
There it is. I will now. Sure. Okay. Sorry, I was trying to answer the one person. So when I enter user permission, where does it add the service provider? So the service provider will be the authorized partner. Ricky, would you be able to scroll?
Where's the question?
Matt, which screen do you want me to go to?
Have we lost Matt?
I think we may have, Chantal.
We may have. All right. Let's quickly have a look here. Can I ask, is it possible for us to add an affiliate seller under our account? They run their own stores, but we obtain commissions too. Yes. So any affiliate to your business can be added as an additional user. Obviously, you will not make them the primary user, because the primary user will always be the person that registered the account. But definitely, yes, you would follow the same process as inviting a new user, and they would then become that. Matt, you have said here that Amazon does not have affiliate programs. If I can just ask participant 38603, was the question related to adding them as a user, or were you referring to an actual affiliated program? If you can just confirm that for me. But the way I read it is that you would want them to have access to your account. If that is the question, then yes. If that isn't, then...
Can you hear me now?
Are you back, Matt?
Sorry, there was something going on with the camera that was interfering with my mic, so I've had to disconnect it.
Okay. All right, then I'll hand it over to you. Thank you.
Sure. Where were you?
I answered the question about the affiliated, but I just asked the participant if he can just explain, he or she can just explain if it was granting them access, or is it actually about affiliated programs. So your answer about affiliate programs is 100% correct. But if it means that they want the affiliate seller to have permission to their portal, then yes, it can be done as a user, and it would follow the same rules as you would invite a new user.
Yeah, it was just in relation to affiliate marketing. That's another
100%.
thing entirely.
Okay.
I just want to go through, and then yes, sorry, when I got cut off, the person was asking where does it add the service provider for when they enter user permission. So it doesn't come up as service provider; it appears as the authorized user.
Yes, correct.
Which is the next page, Ricky?
Sorry, I just want to add in something here. Amazon has just let us know that the R1 discounted fee for the subscription fee is capped until the end of March 2026. Wow. Okay, so there you go. Being on a professional plan with getting all those benefits for R1 is definitely worth it. Thank you.
Okay. So yeah, so when you are by your user management, it will give you the page of user management, and it will immediately take you to the users section where you would see add user, but towards the top where there's a search bar that says users and next to it is authorized partners, you would click on the authorized partners and you would follow the same steps, except it would say add authorized partner.
Okay, sorry. So that one section, I see I cut it off there. I should have shown that there were two tabs. The left tab is for your normal users, and then the second tab says authorized partners. That authorized partners tab will only come up on your portal if you do have the professional plan. If you don't, you won't see that option on your portal.
Okay. Not sure if I've missed any other than the ones I've already answered through the chat. I know it's not related to what we're doing, but the one participant is asking about the featured offers.
Okay.
The best way I can describe it, understand as a new seller, it can sound frustrating, but basically their synopsis is that to be a featured offer, even though it could be your own brand and your own unique product, it has to, the account needs to be selling, and ideally you have some sort of track record of you do fast shipments, and if you happen to have good store reviews or customer reviews of the store, not necessarily the product, whether that means that they asked the question and you were quick to provide feedback, or likewise if the order came through and then you just spoke to them asking if they were happy with everything, that is the easiest way to get it. And then another method, which is the easiest way, is to sell via Fulfilled by Amazon instead of Fulfilled by Merchant.
Sorry, I see there's a question from participant 1867. I have contacted EnterAfrica to assist with adding new products. I'm still waiting for someone to respond. I am the one that is doing the responses, and as of this morning, I had answered all the requests that was on the portal. Participant 1867, if I could give you my email address, support@EnterAfrica online. I will put it in the chat. If you can email me direct, and I can have a look and see where your request is and maybe why it hasn't been responded to, but I know that they were all done by this morning. I'll just put my email address in here. Okay, carry on.
Sure.
Matt?
And then how do you upgrade to the professional plan, or are all the sellers on the professional plan automatically? I believe when you are registering, it's ideally you would have chosen
Yes.
professional, but if for some reason you're unsure, if you just if you log into your Seller Central and you open the settings tab in the top right and click on account info, the first page will take you to is called your account overview, and on the right it will say manage your services, and there'll be a tab saying sell on Amazon, and it will either say professional or the other. And then
individual,
if it's the individual, you'll click on it and follow the necessary steps. But if it's professional, you're fine. And obviously anyone that you add as a user has the professional plan, because that's part of the main account.
Okay. Then there's something about this. How do I get reviews?
Or as people are even unable to add. Okay, so he's referring to the featured offers. I understand when you're scrolling through, you'll see a product, and for instance, it won't give you the price, but you know you're selling, but it looks like you're not selling. If you click on more, that's when your information would appear. But yeah, as I said before, the best way would be to change it to Fulfilled by Amazon, because that, at least in our experience, changes all of that. And then, yeah, you're able to sell. How do I get into FBA? From my knowledge, I need to get barcodes for my products, but I want to know if this is necessary. We are in FBM and want to switch to FBA and send products to Amazon, but the process is a bit confusing. That's perfectly fine. So if your products are already loaded, you would end up going to the manage all inventory, and you would tick the boxes of the products that you want to change. A section called select group action will pop up, and it will say change to Fulfilled by Amazon or Fulfilled by Merchant. And then you would have to just enter in the dimensions of your products, the sizes and weights. And then for barcodes, that's not an issue, as when you initially loaded the product, there was a tab to say you basically don't have barcodes. And when you click it and say next, another pop-up will appear where you need to apply for barcode exemption. And then you would follow the necessary steps. It involves you submitting a request to Amazon to essentially prove that you don't have barcodes, which they'll require you to take images from all angles of the product, which must be either placed on a table or handheld. It's not allowed to be any digitally altered images. It just has to be organic. And then typically after a couple of days, they approve it. And then if you apply it in groceries, for example, any further products you list under groceries, you no longer need to enter the barcodes for. You just say you don't have, and you can carry on.
Oh. Okay.
And then the other person, hi Chantal, I was chatting to someone via WhatsApp about the services.
Yes, I did privately reply to you. I am the only one that is currently dealing with the request. So if you were chatting to someone on WhatsApp, it was me. Please, can I ask you just to send me an email, and I will definitely see what went wrong.
And then does EnterAfrica assist with picking and packing, or just the backend admin? Unfortunately, we don't assist with the picking and packing.
We don't have the
We
warehouse.
we can guide you on what you need to do, but we don't help in a physical capacity.
Yeah. Okay, is that it? Any questions that we missed? Doesn't look like it. Matt, did we reply to participant 76276? I have a question that I see is not part of the agenda. I've managed to load my products. Oh, that was the no features available. Okay, yes, you did. Okay, sorry.
Yeah, that's quite a lengthy one, but yeah.
Branded products, you replied. Okay, so then that looks like any other questions?
I know the one person wanted to know about if there was going to, because I think they joined a bit late, if there was going to be a recording.
Yeah, as far as I know, yes. Emily, if you can maybe just confirm where the participants can find that.
And then also that rating page.
Oh, on YouTube. Matt, Emily is saying that the participants can find the recording on YouTube, Salah University, South Africa. So that will obviously be after the session. And yes, then we've got the customer satisfaction survey. If everybody can just answer that.
Thanks,
and then I think that should be it. Thank you, everybody.